Hello and welcome to the Ministry Pipeline video training series. This video is all about serving in the chairperson role. You've probably been selected to serve as a chairperson in one of our committees, ministry teams, or church programs. Let me begin first by saying thank you for serving in this role, and I hope and pray that you find it a very joyful and fruitful experience. Being selected to serve as a chairperson tells me that you probably want to do the very best job that you can. I want to guide you through a few tips to help you serve your committee well. Let's begin first with communication. Make sure that as a chairperson, you communicate regularly with your team. Let them know that you're praying for them, that you value their ministry, and that you look forward to serving right beside them. Create a text thread for your committee members to communicate among themselves. Send notifications as reminders of upcoming meetings. Those meetings would include your committee specific meetings and also the church council meetings. Stay in communication with the pastor. Your relationship to him is essential to the success of your committee work and to the overall mission of the church. Remember that he is the director of all operations for the church and that your committee is there to support the overall mission of the church as he leads. Attend and participate in church worship activities and services. Attend and participate in church council. Let's talk now about reporting. Make sure that your committee minutes are submitted to the church office in a timely manner. Preferably, a typewritten copy of those minutes should be submitted. This will help us accomplish a few things. First, it keeps the pastor in the loop of what your committee is working on. Second, it informs the church office about calendarized items and newly calendarized items that you're adding. Third, because your committee is a formal part of our church and it is a meeting, we are required to keep a file up to date with those meeting minutes. Another report that is helpful is an activity report. This is a typewritten report of activities that your committee is involved in, and it is submitted to the church in a business meeting. It's a great addition to have this typewritten report in the business meeting packet. We normally include in our business meeting an item that involves our committees, ministry teams, and church programs. It gives you an opportunity to provide a report. And this is a great way to provide that report without necessarily having to stand in front of everyone and give that report in person. We want to talk briefly about organization. One of the greatest tools of organizing your committee is the agenda. This is going to be one of the most important tools to guide your committee meetings. I want to encourage you to use the general template that we've provided to you as a church. Your committee meeting should begin with scripture reading and prayer. It should include a review of the minutes from your previous meeting. It should include a brief review of any recent activities that your committee has been involved in. It should include unfinished business and new business. And then, before you close, make sure that you announce the next upcoming meeting for your committee and close in prayer. Because this is such a great organizational tool, I want to encourage you to spend time thoughtfully and prayerfully preparing your agenda. Create notebooks for your committee members. This is another great organizational tool. That notebook could be a 3-ring binder. It should include the church's bylaws, a 12-month calendar, pre-activity reports, the vision and goals of our church, policies and procedures that pertain to your committee. Let's talk briefly about the calendar. Your committee will develop an annual calendar, and you'll need to include major events that your committee will be hosting or participating in. Also include a calendar of the dates that you know that your committee will be meeting. And then prepare an activity report. This is a pre and post activity report that's designed individually for each event. On the reverse side, there's a 6-month calendar planning timeline. This will be a helpful tool for you as you're planning your meetings and planning your activities in advance. Make sure that you prepare a bulletin write-up for the church office so we can use that included in the weekly bulletin. Let's discuss the church budget. Your committee, ministry team, or church program is responsible for submitting a budget to the finance committee. Each department has a responsibility to submit and to work cooperatively with our finance team. You should prepare that budget based on the approved calendar for the upcoming year. Our fiscal year runs January 1st to December 31st, but the budget planning begins long before that. Those budget requests are to be submitted to the church office or to a member of the finance committee before their due date in October. Let's discuss networking. I want to encourage you to take advantage of working with other churches to identify leaders that are involved in the same ministry as yourself. They can be a very helpful resource to encourage you, to strengthen you, to give you ideas, and to help you grow in your involvement in your church ministry role. Work with the nominating committee. The nominating committee is a wonderful committee in our church. They're responsible for recruiting volunteers for committees and ministry teams and church programs. They are going to work with you, the chairperson, to identify potential workers and volunteers for your ministry area. They will come right beside you. They will know the scope of your ministry work. They will understand the goals and the purpose of your committee, and then they'll help you identify and recruit those new workers. Let's discuss curriculum. If your ministry area requires teaching curriculum, remember that it must first be approved prior to using it. A ministry curriculum review team will be appointed by the pastor to work with you to review your curriculum. We will review its writers and editors, its publishing company or organization or church ministry. We want to make sure that what is being taught is consistent with our statement of faith, the Baptist Faith and Message 2000, and the ministry positions of our church. This team consistently consists of the pastor, the Sunday school director, the chairman of the deacons, a ministry leader, and yourself. We have seen great value in using this layer of accountability and understanding the doctrinal integrity for our church. Support. Unity is better than uniformity. Given the number of people that are involved in our ministry, it's likely that everyone may not always understand every detail. And there may be times that everyone does not have every piece of information. Sometimes that may lead to misunderstanding. It may lead to disagreement with some decisions. If this happens, be positive. Stay mission focused. Watch what you say to others in person, through texting, and especially on social media. Remember that as a chairperson, you don't just reflect your personal, private social media. You reflect the ministry of New Home Baptist Church. Training. One of your responsibilities as a chairperson is to train your replacement. When it comes time to pass the baton, I want to encourage you to do everything in your power to do that well. Use your role as an opportunity to identify and enlist prospective workers and new volunteers and to train up new leaders. And as I close, one of the greatest responsibilities and privileges that we share in a chairperson role is prayer. You have a front row seat to see what God is doing through your committee work, through your members, through the staff and pastor at our church. We have an opportunity to have that front row seat in praying for those individuals whom we serve. So thank you for joining me for today's video on serving in the chairperson role. I look forward to seeing you next time as we continue this Ministry Pipeline video training series. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know.